thank you all for coming to our last advisor meeting. What a weird year this has been. I never ever thought we'd be in our last advisor meeting in the middle of April here, and such a strange time. But here we are, and I hope you guys are all doing well as to be expected and adjusting and not too stressed and taking care of yourselves. And hopefully your students are all doing okay too. I know this has been a really stressful time for students for sure, especially those seniors and eighth graders that are looking at to go on to the next level, and that's a little bit sad. Not exactly what they expected, I'm sure. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about some different things. So give you guys an idea of some of the things that we have been doing for MESA, just some activities and resources that we have available to you. We've sent a couple emails out, but I just want to make sure that you guys kind of have a good idea about what those things are. Talk a little about some end of the year planning stuff that we need to get through. We want to make sure we got your opinion about it, and let you know what's going on with that, and then give you a little bit of a preview for next year, although so much is still up in the air. But feel free to chime in with questions or send questions on the chat, or whatever you want to see. Rose will be reviewing the chat, so if you see any questions in the chat, Rose, just stop me and we can answer those. But feel free to also just speak up. So let's get to the next slide. So the main thing that we've been doing right now to provide activities for our MESA students is this website, and I'm going to try to open up. Can you see that website?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. So this is our website. If you haven't got a chance to look at it, please check it out. We have different things on the website. We have our weekly activities. We have some resources. We have an agenda for our webinars posted. So I'm just going to go to weekly activities right now so you can take a look at what those look like. We have them, they link from up here. They also link from down here. But every week we are posting a different build activity and a different code activity. And so those are just things that students can do at home. The more activities that the students do, they can earn points towards prizes. So we've been collecting their responses. We've also been responding to their submissions. As long as they're not a middle school student with a Stockton or Lodi email account, we're able to respond to them. Unfortunately, we are not able to respond to those middle school students that have those addresses because we're blocked. We've been trying to get a Stockton Unified email account for a while now, but IT is a little bit difficult, but we're working on it. Other than that, though, we have been sending the students feedback. The activity for this week was a marble coaster challenge, and the coding activity was a Coder Z virtual robot. They're building their initials with dominoes. Last week we had an egg smash and building in Tinkercad. Next week the activity is going to be a catapult. The build activity will be a catapult, and the coding activity is going to be coding an Arduino circuit. So these have been really fun to do. We have about 20 to 25 students that participate every week. Right now our school leads are McNair for high school and Commodore for middle school. So keep up the good work, and then if you guys want to encourage your students, it's still anybody's game who could win the ultimate school site challenge, because like I said, there's just been about 20 to 25 students doing it each week, but that's enough for us to feel like it's worth it to keep doing these. And of course we'll have these activities that you guys can use then next year if you want to use them. So they're self-guided, they're all accessible from online. If you want to use these in a class and you have the students submit their results to us, we can give you guys access to view those results if you're interested in doing something like that. But yeah, basically those are the weekly activities. The other thing I wanted to show you guys on here is we are doing weekly webinars, Wednesday, 12 to 12:30. Our student liaisons are hosting these webinars, and they're talking about their college majors. We've just done 2 so far, but they're really fun. We're enjoying them. Not a ton of students show up, but it's been really fun. And if that's something that you think you have students interested in, feel free to send them this. The other thing I wanted to mention is this is totally open to any students in Stockton, Lodi, Manteca, wherever. It's totally an open event. And let's see, someone's saying, I'm waiting for the host, Samantha, but I can't let her in. I don't know. Yeah, she's there. Okay. Yeah, so totally welcome. Basically, the idea with all of these activities is that they're there for the students. We're still wanting to provide things for the students to do and have fun with, but we don't want to ask you guys for any more than what you already have on your plates. So really, these are just resources. We'd love if you'd share them. We're here to help and make things easier, but we don't want this to be an extra thing on your plate, just something helpful. Did you guys have any questions about the website?
I've been linking them up, but it's kind of funny. I get 2 of the boys with the identical message saying, I can't do any of the activities, and I don't have the materials. Literally, the last one said, you may use anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I got my excuse. Leave me alone.
Yeah, we try to make it really open. Most of the things don't ask for anything more than like paper and cardboard. But you know, that's why we have the coding activities too. So if they can't do that, hopefully they have access to computer. If they don't have access to either, really they're just optional extra activities, and they're there for fun. So
the problem is it gets in the way of Fortnite.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's nothing on the website that they submit to you?
Yeah.
Or, there's no message?
Yeah, so sorry about that. Like, so basically they do submit. So every activity, they'll submit their results. So that's linked from the activity PDF, but it's also linked from the weekly activity. So basically they'll submit this little form that has their name, their school name. We'll ask them a little bit about what the activity was like. And then we ask them to upload a photo or a screenshot, depending on whether it was the coding activity or whether it was the build activity.
That was the next thing I was going to ask. If there's a way to have a photo of it uploaded or showcased somehow.
Yeah, so this is a WUFU form, so we have to like pay a little bit for using these type of forms, but the advantage is it allows us to collect photos.
And so you're seeing all the results, not us.
We are seeing all the results, yes. If you want the results, we're more than happy to share them, but the idea is to not put this on your plate, but to be something that is just like an extra help.
I just put it up on Classroom and just asked them to submit a photo if they did a project and submit a screenshot if they did the coding. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
And it's easy enough, you know. And it's a link in Google Classroom. Just created it's in my Mesa class. So
yeah. So if you're, the one thing though is if you're asking for the submissions, then we're not seeing the submissions. So we're not able to give your students credit towards the points to earn prizes. So basically the 2 things that students are earning is they can earn like individual prizes depending on how many activities they complete, and those prizes are on the website so they can take a look at those. Or the other thing is by school site, like the school site with the most amount of responses gets a pizza party for their first Mesa meeting of the year in the fall. So those are kind of the 2 competitions that are going on around these challenges.
right, but I mean, they can submit the 2 things in Google. They can do without it interfering with what they're submitting to you.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I just want to see if they're alive.
Yeah.
You know, that's about it. I'm not grading them. That's just.
Yeah.
Are you alive?
Yeah. It's easy for us. We have a Mesa group me, so we could just have the student post a picture of what they did with the brief explanation, just so everyone still feels in the loop.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and if you want to see what we have, we're definitely happy to share that with you. I have gotten some submissions from SICA, so I know someone's seeing it.
Good.
All right. The other thing is about that, we have been sending out reminders every week about what the activity is and what the weekly webinar is via our Remind app and also on our Instagram. So if you guys don't follow us already on either one of those and you want to know, just get a little heads up about what the activity is. Our website has instructions about signing up for the Remind list that we are. It's just at Pacific ME, at Pacific Me. And then our Instagram is UOP_Mesa. So if you want to have a weekly reminder, you can add on either of those things, and we push out notifications through both of those venues.
I have a question regarding the deadline for submittals. Is it due weekly, or can a student continue to work on it and submit it afterwards?
Yeah, the student can continue to work on it. Eventually, I'm only allowed 10 WUFU forms with the plan that I bought. So eventually, I'm gonna have to remove, like by week 5, I'm gonna have to remove week 1.
Okay.
But in the meantime, they're still welcome to send in their submissions.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, and we won't.
If I may.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm assuming for like the week 1, week 2, that gets removed from the submittals. At least you still have the access to the content on the web page, so that way students can still access and enjoy.
Yeah, they still be able to access it. We just won't be able to accept any more submissions after I have like 1 more week for week 1. So I'll be able to accept up to like 5 weeks beforehand. And then what was I gonna say? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, maybe I'll remember. Okay. The other thing we're doing, this was a suggestion. Actually, thanks Ansel for that. We thought that sounded pretty fun. So we are gonna do a Kahoot little online quiz bowl on Thursday, May 14th. So we have some questions that we'll put up there. We'll send out the link. We'll publicize it on the website and via the Remind app and on Instagram. And yeah, anybody's welcome to participate. We'll do sort of a calculation of the points, like average points, but also count for how many students participate. Really, we want to mostly reward participation. Since the students are doing it at home, yes, there's technically some possibility they could cheat. Hopefully they won't. But the idea is, for them to have fun and participate and us to do a competition, even though we can't do spring challenge or anything like that this year. We'll have a little trophy that we'll be able to give out in fall. So that's just something that's coming up, and we'll send you guys a little message about that so you can share it with your students. The one thing I did want to ask is what times might work best for both middle school and high school. I was gonna do like 4 o'clock, but then I heard some people are still having classes at that time. If anybody has an idea about what schedules might work best for middle schoolers or high schoolers, just feel free to drop that in the chat, because if you have any suggestions, it's certainly better than what we know about this.
Well, midnight or 1 a.m. Most of them are up then.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from my brothers with my nieces and nephews. Apparently, that's the time.
I get up about the time they go to bed.
I don't know if I'm gonna be up, unfortunately, but yeah. Okay, so that's the other little thing that we have on the horizon. Other thing we've been sort of publicizing is other Mesa programs have been having different webinars about college readiness and things like that. So we've been adding that to the Instagram as well. One thing I did want to mention about the prizes, we will send those out. So we're asking for student addresses. We'll send those out as soon as we're able to get back into our, like not as soon as, but when we're able to get back into our office, we'll be able to start sending those out. So that probably won't be until June or July. We'll see how things go. But like I said, we can't really do anything with materials right now. So we'll just have to see and wait and see until when we get back. Unfortunately. Okay, so next thing. The last thing I just wanted to say is we're here to help you guys. You know, this is Mesa in general, supposed to, you know, we're part of your team. So whatever you're doing, whatever you need, let us know if there's ways that we can help you. I know we've had a couple of our students have been tutoring at different school sites. Our students, unfortunately, are about to finish school next week, but we'll still be here and we still want to help. So just let us know if there's anything that we can help you guys with. We're here for you. So that's just a last little pitch about things we're doing right now. Okay, was there any questions about that, Rose, that I missed from the chat?
No, not really, but it looks like everybody's kind of consensus, geez, my vernacular has time. 2 to 4, it looks like, and that sounds like a pretty good time, so maybe 3:30.
Perfect. Okay, so we'll send out a couple links for those as that continues. So it's just a little thing, but something fun. All right, so awards. So this is kind of the main thing we wanted to talk to you guys about today, our rewards and our awards and our sashes and all that stuff. So this is sort of our end of the year wrap up things, which is kind of funny to be doing right now, but that's the way it goes. So some of you guys asked and were wondering about from your survey, what's going to happen with the end of the year awards that are presented to students. So for those of you guys who are new Mesa teachers, we allow you guys to select 2 outstanding academic awards, 2 outstanding participation awards, 1 Spirit of Mesa award, and then for high schools, 3 outstanding seniors. So these folks have been really active in your Mesa programs. If you don't have 5 students, if you're in middle school, that you want to award, or you don't have 8 students in high school that you want to award, that's okay. You just issue as many awards as you want, basically. Well, between 5 and 8, not beyond that, but up to that point. And usually at the end of the year, we have a really nice dinner where people are able to bring a parent and have them be celebrated. Unfortunately, of course, we can't do that this year, but we've been brainstorming different ways to celebrate the students. So what we decided on doing after collecting your guys' suggestions, and we also talked to Pacific to see how they're doing their graduations and whatnot. So we're gonna create like a video with everybody's awards being presented. So I made a little example, but the idea is to keep, just for you to send us a little video of the awards that you want to present. And in the follow-up to this presentation, just like I always send you guys a follow-up email, I'll give you guys some details about what those awards are and what they're for. But basically, you guys have the ability to select your students for each one of those. The idea is for you guys to send us a video that's, under 2.5 minutes, more or less, just saying a little short thing about each one of your students and why you're awarding them their prize. And then we'll put them all together. Rose is actually going to do it because she got a new computer that has some video editing capabilities. So that's exciting. So she's going to do that and collect all those. So if you just make a little video on your phone, you can send that to her via iMessage or via WhatsApp if you don't have iMessage. If your video is longer than that, or if it's a little bit larger file for some reason, just tell Rose and she can send you a link to a Google folder to upload your video. If you're not able to make a video for some reason, you can send us what you'd like us to say about your students. We'd really prefer you to send us a video though, because it'll be really boring if it's just us the whole time talking about your students and they don't really know us that well. So it's just a lot more meaningful if you guys are doing awards for you to send that little video about your students. So we would really appreciate it if you guys could do it. And if the deadline for that is going to be May 11th, which is a deadline for a number of our kind of wrap up things. So you'll be able to keep that date in mind. And then the other thing about that is we'll also be sending out, we give students like a little gift for being an award recipient, and they're able to choose among 3 different gifts. We'll have them vote on what those gifts are via Instagram. It's a great way to get more Instagram followers, get more kids paying attention to what our activities and ongoing things are. So if you have some students that you know you're gonna be awarding, you can give them the heads up that if they wanna select what their awards are, to check it out on Instagram. But basically, we'll send you guys a link with a survey. So the students that you are awarding, please send them that survey link, and then they'll be able to select among the 3 top award choices, and they can pick the one that they want, and they'll give us their address so we know where to send that. And so we'll send them the award, their award certificate, and yeah, to their homes. And we'll do that by July, hopefully when we get back in the office. So I'm just going to show you guys a really quick sample of this.
Hi everyone, this is Ilana Pichina, and I'm the director of the MESA program, and I'd like to present our MESA awards to our outstanding seniors, Claudia Herrera, Veronica Seca, and Justin Lee. Claudia has been with MESA since before we started. She's a pleasure to work with a beaming smile, and always radiates positivity and kindness. We have no doubt that she will excel in her chosen career path in social work. Veronica is the last in a long line of Secas that have helped grow and shape our program. We can always count on Veronica to be there when we need her the most. She's capable and creative and has always been a wonderful asset to our program.
So basically I had one more there, but just a really simple short video. You say like a little thing about each of the students, so it doesn't even have to be that long. But those are about our outstanding seniors. I'll probably refilm that video because I definitely didn't brush my hair or get dressed that morning, because why do you do that even anymore? But that's what I had. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys sort of a taste of what we were looking for. Do you guys have any questions about the awards or the awards video?
What were the?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask what the awards were again.
I was
Spirit
gonna,
of Mesa and.
Yeah, so we will definitely send you that in a follow-up email with like
Okay.
a little bit of description about that, so it's a little bit easier to think about. But the 3 awards are academic, outstanding academics, outstanding participation, and then Spirit of Mesa. So there's 2 academics, there's 2 participation, and 1 Spirit of Mesa. And then for high school, there's also 3 outstanding seniors.
Thank you.
All right. Do you have a question, Ann?
That was basically my question.
Okay, nice.
And then Rose is gonna clip it all together in one video.
Yeah, and then we'll post it on Instagram. We'll send it out to you guys. We'll send the link through the website and everything. We'll try to get it out there as much as possible. But yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we thought so. You know, getting all the kids together for like a Zoom event, it just, you know, it seems difficult. But we wanted to, you know, give them all a little bit of a time to shine, even if they, you know, we can't all be together. All right. So next thing.
Hi everyone, this is Ilana
Oops.
Pichina.
Wow, I'm doing that again. Okay. All right. The next thing is the rewards. So it's different than the awards. Okay. So you guys may remember we, in our effort to increase attendance, we had this whole plan to reward students for their attendance at Mesa Day and Spring Challenge. Didn't quite get to Spring Challenge, but we did get through Mesa Day. So we have some reward funds from Mesa Day attendance. And we also have, we added like the base $100 from like your guys's, like there's a base 100 for doing a party. So we added that to the Mesa Day award funds that we have for you guys. So there's a little bit of funding that you guys each have to use at your school sites. The intention was that you could kind of use them for whatever you want, but it's more limited funding. Spring Challenge wasn't added on there, and there's this whole piece with the that nobody's going on the field trip, so it's the same 100 for everybody. So basically, there's this little chunk of funding for every school site, and we're trying to figure out what made sense to do with that in terms from a budgetary perspective, just logistical perspective, how we could use those funds. So we came up with basically 3 ways that you guys can use those funds. The first way that you can do it is you can just carry over those funds for a STEM field trip for next year. So if you have, you guys always do Great America, and you want to do that again next year, as long as we're able to do field trips next year, you can go ahead and carry that over, and you have some additional funds to do that field trip or another field trip next year. We can't use carryover funds for parties or items because this is going on our statewide budget. So if you do want to carry over those funds, it needs to be used for a STEM field trip. So if you're not sure that you're going to do a STEM field trip, maybe don't select that option. I believe if there is another limitation for the year on STEM field trips because of the COVID-19 situation, we probably can continue to carry that forward. But if not, we'll have to use that next year. The next possibility we thought about is providing some like quote unquote larger awards. So those are like $10 items. So maybe if you had students that you really wanted to do something special for, like you were going to take them on the Physics Day field trip to really celebrate them, and then you can't do that this year, you might want to purchase use those funds for like a few of these larger items, or so that we have that. We'll talk about that a little bit more. The other thing is maybe you want to use them for like incentives. So if you're trying to incentivize kids to participate or do volunteer things next year, you could use those larger awards to use those for incentives. Same things we thought about doing a smaller award, so it's like a $2 item more or less. You guys could have got obviously a lot more of those with the small amount of funds, and you could use them for incentivizing turning in their MESA applications or something like that. Or you could do a combination of those 3 things. So I will send you guys all a letter that has your award amount, and then you'll be able to tell us how you want to use those funds in the May 11th survey. What we're gonna do though is right now have you guys go ahead and select what that large item and what that small item is going to be. Instead of having a lot of different items, which would be logistically really difficult right now, and also a lot more costly because there's a setup fee for each item, we wanted to just select one large item and one small item to order. So Rose is sending out a link in the chat right now. Did you send it out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there's a survey link in the chat if you wanted to just pull that up. And you guys can take a look at what those items are. So I will show you. So for the large items, the 3 that we selected are kind of in our price range and thought were kind of cool is a wireless speaker. The next one is a Urban Messenger bag. We'd probably do orange and black because Mesa's kind of orange and red and Pacific is orange. Or the Tornado backpack, which is also there. Hopefully you can see those and take a look at those and just vote on the one that you like the best. And so I'm seeing some messages coming in on either WhatsApp or the phone chat. Sorry, I'm just trying to see. Tiffany.
Can I ask, Ilana?
Yeah.
I see the link. How do I do that when I'm challenged here?
Oh,
So
I think you just have to copy and paste it in a window because I don't think it shows up as a link.
Copy. I'm gonna do it on my phone, so I'm just gonna like type it in real quick.
Oh, okay.
You can also exit full screen on the. I just did it. Exit full screen on the Zoom.
You can come here.
Copy paste.
Okay.
Open another tab, then you go back to full screen on Zoom.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
We're learning how to do all these things, and believe me, I've made quite a few mistakes.
I don't see it.
Well, if you have any trouble, I can, do you want to send it? Can you send it in the WhatsApp, Rose?
Yeah.
Okay, Rose will send
Perfect.
it in the WhatsApp. That'll be easy too. All right, then the small award selection that we had was the silicone case for AirPods. It's not the actual AirPods, just the case, the outside casing, since those seem to be pretty popular these days. The other small item was the hand sanitizer. I don't know how much of an incentive that is, but certainly necessary, we have found in this crazy time. And then the last small item was like a reusable silicone strap. So if you wanted to vote on those ones as well, and we'll just let you guys know which of those was the most selected, and that'll be the ones that you guys will be able to select from. So basically, just to summarize the rewards, you can use those funds for carryover for a field trip. You can use them for large incentive items, or you can use them for small incentive items, or you can divide them up in some way to use up your funds and get a few different things. Did anybody have any questions about that? All right.
How soon do you want us to vote on these things? I mean, can we vote after the meeting?
Yeah, you can vote after the meeting. I'll send out the meeting summary on Monday. So that'll have everything, like what we voted on, all this stuff. So you do it before Monday, then
Okay.
I'll definitely count your vote.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Okay, so this is just relevant to our high school advisors here, but did want to, go over this because it is really important, our senior survey and our senior sashes. So the senior survey is one of the most important deliverables that we collect for our indicator data for MESA statewide and our continued funding, but to also just kind of track how we're doing, where students are going, what they're doing afterwards. And it also allows us to connect MESA seniors to junior college and college MESA programs, keep them in that MESA pipeline, which can be really supportive for them, especially as they go on to higher education. So it's really important. It's not a long survey, but we really need all you high school advisors' help to get those answers from your students. We'll also heckle them, but we really need your guys' help to make that happen as well. And the ones that we're really going to chase down is those students that have their full enrollment in. So if you have some students that are active, that's great, get them to fill it out, but the ones that we will be texting and calling at their homes to send this dang survey in is those that we have enrollment forms, because those are really our fully enrolled students. The deadline for you guys to send out the senior survey also is May 11th, and we will have a link for that when I send out those notes on Monday. And then all seniors who receive a SASH must have filled out the senior survey. So we're not gonna check a one-to-one right there, because you guys are just gonna tell us how many sashes that you need, but we won't send you more sashes than we have surveys. So if we have 4 senior surveys from you and you ask us for 14 sashes, you're gonna get 4 sashes. We really need those survey responses. The sashes, that's a picture of them if you hadn't seen them before. These are their graduation stoles, basically. Even though your students don't get to walk for graduation, which is such a bummer. It's still a great item, and I know that the seniors really care about them. And we leave it up to you to decide how you want to award those. In the past, I know there's been some specifications, but if we trust you guys, and if you guys believe your students deserve a SASH, and then MESA was an important part of their high school experience, then we'll just go with your answer for how many sashes you need. The sashes and the reward items will be either sent or delivered to advisors. So if you need the reward items over the summertime, we can send those to you. If not, we'll just give them to you when we start this new school year in July. We'll be going around to your school sites in July, August again. as you guys get started next year, we'll need to pick up the toolkits. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that this year. So we'll be having our one-on-one meetings with you guys in July and August. We can drop out those items off with you then, or we can mail them to you beforehand. And we'll just have you guys let us know how you want to receive those items on that May 11th survey. Does that make sense? Any questions about the senior stashes or survey?
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, all right, sounds good, thanks. So last advisor survey, I said a lot of things about the advisor survey that we're gonna send out. For the due date will be May 11th. We'll ask about your student awards information, whether you sent us a video, whether you want us to, if you're sending us text, what that text is going to be, how you want to use your reward budget, whether you sent out your senior survey. Another thing we'll ask on there is about your school site parent event. I know we asked you about that before, but not everybody had been able to do it or was planning them. So we have a lot of different data on that, and it is in the Stockton Unified stipend calculation. So we want to make sure that if you did do a parent event, that you are given credit for doing that parent event. If you had something planned for spring and it's not working out now, you're still, I know that's crazy difficult to organize with parents online, but you're still welcome to try to do a Zoom or an online event, and the people who show up will show up. If you want to do that, you certainly don't have to, but that's a possibility. I just wanted to let you guys know. The other thing I'll ask you about is any summer work suggestions that you have for us, and I'll go a little bit more over that in the next coming up slides. Any program feedback that you have for us this year, and then just where about sending the awards and the rewards and the sashes. If you want us to send that to your school address, bring it to you at the beginning of school year, or send it to your home address, we'll just collect that information then, so you can tell us what you'd like us to do with those items. Any questions about the May 11th survey? One little note about the senior survey, don't send that out to your students until, I don't know exactly, I know usually college decision day is May 1st, but I don't know what's going on these days with college decisions. But, if try to send that out when you think most of your students probably will have decided what college they're going to, because that's really an important piece of the senior survey information that we collect. So if we get a bunch of I don't knows, then we're just going to have to follow up with them later. So if the May 11th deadline for you guys to send out that survey is too early, let us know, and we can talk about extending that a little bit.
I got a question.
Yeah.
We were supposed to do our parent thing, I think it was last week.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know what we can do now. We have very little involvement at our school. I'm having like half of my kids doing their work. So I'm not sure how we could.
Yeah, we totally understand. Like, if you wanted to do something online, you can. You don't have to. I'm just, it's totally up to you. We just want to make sure that, like, if you guys did do a parent event, that you did that was included in the stipend calculation for having done that. But we totally.
So are we going to get penalized if we don't do something?
No, it's not a penalty. It's just it's an extra thing. You'll see the stipend calculation. So I mean, it is an extra thing. So it's for the folks that completed it, but it's just, yeah. I guess it's just another thing.
It's an extra thing on top of what is required. Is that what you're saying?
So I mean, everything is. So here's the stipends. We'll take a look. First of all, before we go on to the stipends, if we don't, one last thing about the survey: if we don't receive a survey response from you guys, we'll need to return those reward funds to the school districts and to statewide. MESA program. So we have our carry forward budget that's due on May 15th. So if we don't have a response from you guys by then, we can't include it in our budgets going forward. So just make sure that if you want to use your reward funds, to turn in that survey.
What are you doing?
Okay, so here's the stipends. Those are gonna go out after we collect that May 11th survey. So this is a shorter year, which means that we are expected to return funds for MESA to the school district, because we've been able to do less activities. So that does mean that the stipend is somewhat affected, though not very much. It's affected probably by a little, like around like $80. So we're trying to give you guys as much of the stipend as we can, but there is some of that that's going to go back to the district for having a shorter school year, because these are funds from the district, from Stockton Unified. So this is what the stipend looks like. Everybody are going to get the full number of days in the school year. The deadlines, we had five deadlines. So materials list, MESA Day registration, the March advisor survey, the May 11th advisor survey, and your award nomination. For high school, we'll have another little one on there for the senior surveys. The meetings attended in the period, there are only 3 this year, January, February, and this one. Enrollment is going to be the same way that was calculated last semester. And then we have full day events and part day events. So there's no specific required events and no not required events. It's just a stipend for the time that you used. So basically we're trying to, it doesn't pay your time. We just tried to give you guys something to recognize the time that you used. So if the full day events that you could have gone to this year was MESA Day, everybody will get that. I think everybody was at MESA Day. And then a few of you who went to Regional Science Bowl for middle school and high school. And then the part day events was the NEDC competition and the parent event. So if if it's not a big deal, we want to recognize anybody that did do a parent event and give you some credit for that. But if you didn't do it, we're not holding it against you and saying you didn't complete your work. We're just saying like it was just an extra thing. I mean, it's all an extra thing. All of MESA is an extra thing. But I don't want you to think about it as like being penalized. It is what it is. The last thing is your MESA responsibility. And that's added on there as well, whether you fulfilled your MESA responsibility. So that was if you were a judge at MESA Day or if you volunteered for something else during the year, that will be included. You guys have any questions about the stipend?
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is from January to June. What about the earlier part of the year?
Oh, you should have already received that. Did you not receive your stipend?
No.
Okay, we'll have to check on that. Did
it come by mail or how did it come?
You usually get automatic deposit or come by mail?
Okay, I don't think I got it. I'll have to check.
It should come through in January or February.
January, February, okay. I'll look back.
Did anybody else not get their first semester stipend? Everyone else did?
Oh, then I must have, but I don't remember. Okay, I'll look back and see. January or February?
Yeah, if you didn't get it, let us know and we'll try to figure out what happened.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and I'll follow up with you separately, Vicki. I'll double check with AP too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So we'll send out those stipend calculations between May 12th and May 15th. As soon as we get those survey responses, we'll give you the whole of that until following week, the week of May 18th. To take a look at those, make sure that we didn't miss anything. Yeah, if we did, just let us know. We're always open to the possibility that we mess something up, and very frequently we do. So just let us know if anything's wrong. And then after we get back a response from you, or by the end of the week of May 18th, we'll just finalize those and send them out. And as you know, it does take a good long while to send out the stipends. One important thing right now, we are not on campus, and accounts payable is also not on campus. So if you are not set up for automatic deposit, we can't actually issue your stipend until everybody's back on campus. So you can either sign up for automatic deposit if you're not signed up for automatic deposit already, and I will include some information about how to do that in our follow-up message on Monday, or we can just hold on to your incentive until we can get back on campus. Right now, I'm suspecting that's going to be sometime in June, but we don't really know, and nobody knows. So that's kind of what we're seeing.
Well, and I have a question.
Yeah.
In February, I believe, our school, with Rachel and I, we went to Harrison Elementary School and did an event, and parents and teachers and students were all there. Does that count as something as a parent event, or no?
The parent event should be something where you're for your parents. Somehow your parents were there. But
yeah,
we can talk about it offline.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
In terms of, Jim, I saw your comment about the gift card. We would love it if we could be able to issue gift cards. Everybody would love it, but our university does not allow us to do any type of gift card, which is really unfortunate. Yeah. Okay. Next thing we have here, this is getting into future planning. So I want to put this up here. This is the plan that we submitted to statewide for next year, but it is not an approved plan. Our steering committee has not looked at this. They have not approved this. And the reason we haven't done anything with that is because we have no idea what next year is going to look like. Just like you guys, we're just kind of in a wait and see game to see what happens at the national level, the state level, and more importantly for us at our school district level and for the MESA statewide program. So we have no idea right now if we're going to be able to do big events on Pacific campus. If we can't do big events, that doesn't mean we're not going to do MESA. We're definitely going to do MESA, but we'll have probably a lot more happening at your school site. So we'll probably try to convert a lot of our events into school site events, a lot more individual school site budgets. It'll be a really different year if we're not doing big events at Pacific. But we're still going to be active, and we're still going to try to do as much as we possibly can. We put a lot more budget in our budget this year for our school site liaison. So we'll have hopefully more presence of school site liaisons on your campuses to make things like these school site events and things like that more of a possibility. So we're in a wait and see game, but we did want to show you a little bit about some of the things that we were thinking of for next year. I think the biggest change is changing from the Science Bowl to an engineering hackathon for our fall event. So we talked a little bit about that, but that would be basically a whole day event of just a build, and students would work together on teams to do something creative together and compete all against each other. One of the things we talked about with Nathan that we were really excited about is doing that event actually on a Friday, on a weekday, and getting subs for you guys for a half day. So leaving a half day early, doing it all, and having the kids get picked up on buses and having it more equivalent to like a sports event, which we thought would be really fun and exciting for the kids. And hopefully the ideal here is to use less of your Saturdays, because we realize we definitely overdid that this year and want to be really respectful of your time. So that was one of the things we were excited about. We'll see what happens. Continuing with college night, continuing with 8th grade night. Those were great events. Just a little bit more like a student liaison presence. We wanted to do a summer program this year. Obviously that's not going to happen, but continue to do it next year. And then we had a couple of PD events. We wanted to combine our student leadership and our PD event, our first PD event of the year together, to have you guys together with your leadership students to be able to plan together your activities for the year. We thought that would be really fun. So those are just sort of a few of the things we had in the pipeline, but really it's all up in the air right now, and we'll let you guys know as soon as we know. So that's basically where we're at, for better or for worse right now. Did you have anything to add to that, Rose?
Nope.
Okay. Material list. We will send out our survey in late July, early August, when we're doing our kind of one-to-one meetings with you guys about the materials. We did want to give you an update that we're going to do either allow you guys to do individual items like you did this year, and we're also going to work on putting items together in kits. We realized the individual items were especially difficult for newer advisors to figure out what they might need, what they might want. And some of you guys just, I think it might just be easier to put them in kits. So we're going to be working to do that, to allow you to select items in both of those ways, hopefully working on a survey that's really clean and clear, and just continually hopefully making this materials process a little bit easier. So do look out for that in late July and early August if you're continuing on with us, and we certainly hope that you will be. So we can get items ordered and things like that. The last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, summer work suggestions. So Rose and I have done a lot of our summer work in the last couple of months. We're continuing to do that, which means that we have a kind of excitingly open summer to do different things for the program and for you guys. As much as we'd like to travel on vacation, we're probably going to be stuck at home. So, so any ideas that you have about things that would be helpful, interesting, nice for your classes, let us know. Some of the things we've been brainstorming are sponge activities, video tutorials. Maybe we could learn some different skills if that might be helpful for you. We've been trying to learn a little bit about coding right now as we're creating these coding assignments. One thing I've learned is what takes me 3 hours takes students more or less like 15 to 20 minutes. So I definitely have a long way to go on some coding acquisitions of skills, but that was something that we could work on. Curriculum development, if there's a specific MESA activity you'd like to see more curriculum development on, let us know. We're going to be working on a Pacific Mesa website. We've really loved having the website for the students. It's been a really clean way to have all the materials presented, and we've thought a lot about doing that for you guys and being able to have that be a better one-stop shop than the Google folder that we've been using so far. So we're going to be organizing into a website. That's one thing we'll be working on. But any ideas, anything you specifically want, even if it's just for you, let us know. Ideas are really welcome. We're here to help. Any questions about any future upcoming activities? All right. So on that note, we wanted to just say a really big thank you. We miss you guys a lot, seeing your faces, seeing your kids. We would have loved to have Spring Challenge and do all the end of the year activities, but such is life. It's been another wonderful year with you all. You make this such a rewarding experience and such a wonderful job. And we love you all and all your kids. And we just wish you the very best and hope to see you all next year. And I don't know if you had anything you wanted to say, Rose, to add to that.
Just a quick, I actually just got an email from Mr. Walter asking if we had any advisors who might be interested in an AI boot camp during the summer through the County of Ed.
Cool. So that's maybe something else we can add
to the Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really miss human contact. I miss you all. I just want to see faces of people that are not my family or my dog. So.
Yeah, it's been really great. We've had a lot of fun this year. We wish it could have been more of what we expected, but But we're all in this together, and we really appreciate you and everything you're doing for the kids right now. So that's all basically.
Here, here.
Here,
So cheers to you, and have a wonderful weekend, and we will follow up everything on a Monday with the email that has all these details in it, because I know there was a lot here. So yeah. Is there any last questions before we sign off here?
No, thank you.
No, thanks a lot.
All right.
Rose and Alana, if you have time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hang on. I'll offer a few.
Okay.
All right. Bye, you guys.
bye everyone.